everybody, and we're here for What's Trending this morning, where we take those hot topics of the week and find out what people in our community have to say. Joining us here this morning on our set, we've got Mr. Johnny Awesome, who's celebrating his birthday week.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
33.
33. Are you really?
Yeah,
I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Hopefully not a lot of people are watching and heard that then, I guess.
All right, well, we've got Johnny up here, and he's a local promoter with media management around town, so you probably see him in a lot of events. And Miss Tina Clark, who you'll also probably see around because she's our city historian, so we go to her for a lot of stories. And then she's also, as well, has Tina's Cocina, so I know she was up late for her cooking class last night. Glad she could make it here
Thanks
today.
for having me. Love to be here.
Glad you're here. And then we've got Mr. Michael Edgar over at Barkley Ag. Or not Barkley Ag, Barkley Seed, Vice President over at Barkley Seed. And if you haven't seen it, we actually did a story together with Homegrown on wheat. That was amazing. There were 2 of them. I still think that's my mom's favorite one that she's ever seen. So you guys will have to check him out on there. He has lots to say about wheat. He's our local expert, so we like to go to him. So now we're going to move on to our topics. Are you guys ready?
Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Topic number 1. Let's take a look. High emotion and high drama took over a Cleveland courtroom yesterday as admitted kidnapper Castro received his life sentence. Now, one of his victims did speak publicly, giving a horrific account of her life of abuse and rape. This was all while Castro blamed his actions on former abuse in his own life and also an addiction to porn. Then he made claims that most, if not all, sexual contact was consensual as he asked the girls for forgiveness. So after being under the complete control of a man like this, do you think there's any chance that the girls will have a possibility at having a normal life now that they have their freedom? Johnny, what do you think?
Well, at least I would hope so.
Right.
I would hope that somebody's out there offering them maybe some free counseling and some stuff that they could go to and work out some issues in their lives. I know it's not a perfect analogy, but Senator McCain, he was in a POW camp for 5 years over in Vietnam, and he came out and became the senator of our great state. So,
and almost won the presidency.
It's actually, it's what you do with it. It's what you channel that energy into, and hopefully they could find a good something to channel that energy into, and maybe go speak about it. So.
Tina, what do you think?
So I completely agree with Johnny, and I think there are some great role models in history and in the current world today. Look at the Holocaust victims that came out of POW camps and survived and turned their lives around into an account for other people that really, I think these young women have an important story for other victims. So if they actually become they heal. Obviously, you've got to have a lot of time, but there's a point you can do something really fine with the experience.
Michael, what do you think? You think there's a chance?
Well, when you mention the word normal, I guess it's a definition of what you and I would expect. Normal to us, they have a new normal in their lives. They can never go back. They've lost those years, if you will. So I agree. You would only hope that they could build and they could make the woman who comes out and makes that statement. That's her way of coping with that, if you will. And so you could only hope that they're able to move forward. But they're never going to be the normal they were before it happened.
Right.
We all understand that. You can only hope that and pray that as they move forward with the balance of their lives, that they can somehow make it part of their life. And I just don't know how you make a positive thing out of such a negative. It's the only thing that concerns me.
Okay, so it's definitely a concerning topic, and it's not just one negative thing. They have many negative things that they're having to turn into positive things.
I'm just happy that we didn't go through this lengthy trial.
Yeah.
The good news is at least they were able to put that quickly away, and yes, you have these flare-ups in the news, but hopefully it'll kind of die down and they can get and move forward with their lives.
Right, and then the less amount of times that people see their faces on TV and the less amount of times people hear their names, the more normal they'll probably be able to have and be able to get back to.
Just move on with their lives.
Sooner rather than later, right. Welcome back, everyone, for What's Trending here on Sunrise, where we take some of those hot topics that everyone's talking about and find out what people in our community have to think. All right, or have to say, not have to think. And we're on to topic 2 this morning. We're talking about social media. It's a great tool to grow your business, but lately it seems to be a great tool to get fired. So what do you guys think? Many people are posting incriminating photos and making statements that their employees or even prospective employees see and let them go because they've seen these photos. So should your personal blog or your Twitter account be able to get you in trouble at the workplace? where do you draw the line? Tina, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking that when you have a job and you connect your personal life, well, let me say this, it's impossible really to disconnect your personal life from your job. I mean, they sort of are intertwined, and I'm thinking of the word privacy. If some person is willing to bear all, show it all, then what does that do in the workplace? Are they willing to bear all also about the company? So I'm just thinking it's called discretion, judgment, and I'm thinking if you go too far, you're really maybe looked at as a risk in the workplace.
All right, Michael, what do you think?
Well, I would suspect that a lot of human relations departments are dealing with this in a different manner because when you think about the technology, this has all happened in the last 4 to 5 years.
Right.
This is something relatively new, and so you have this issue of freedom of speech. You ought to be able to say and do what you want. You also are free to be stupid. The only problem is when you post it out there, you just show that many more people how dumb you really are. And so the concern would be, from as an employer standpoint, as she pointed out, at some point in time, if that starts reflecting on you and the job you're performing, now we have a problem. If it's outside of the workplace, it'd be hard for me to say you're fired because you did something ignorant on a Saturday night and posted something. I don't think
only if it in some way affects
I would think so.
work?
But you're raising a very interesting question because where do you come to that line?
Right. Johnny?
You know, obviously I do social media advertising for a living,
right.
So I kind of know the ins and outs of social media, but I think Tina hit the nail on the head when she said discretion. I don't think you should be fired, definitely not a fired thing. Well, it depends on if you're in Congress or if you're working at Lowe's or something, you know. That's the two different things. But if you're applying for a job, I think employers will go check out your Facebook page.
Right.
They might check out your Twitter. It just happened recently to me. A guy actually came in, put in an application. He was a good graphic designer, knew Facebook, knew the right things, but then looked on his Facebook. It talks about how he wants to kill his mom. He hates his neighbors,
oh,
you know.
my goodness.
Yeah, and so it's like, no, we're definitely not going to hire that guy. You know, I don't want him reflecting my business, definitely.
Right.
So,
okay,
yeah.
no, that definitely makes sense, and it's definitely looked at from an employer standpoint.
I looked right at it
as well. All right, really quick, we're going to take a look at some pictures. These are some fashion faux pas, and I want to know what you think. This is our third and final topic, granny panties. Now, apparently they're making a comeback in the last 2 years. They've really gone up in popularity. Okay, Johnny, what do you think? If it's done like this or done at all, what do you think?
Well, I guess that's kind of hot, you know. Sure, let's go with it. I guess on that point, I wouldn't want to see them in a thong in that picture, so let's do that.
All right, Dina?
Okay, I'm a granny, and I'm definitely not into granny panties. It's just not me.
She's way too sexy for that.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, what do you think,
I'm
Michael?
happy to say I don't have a clue what they are.
Oh, you just saw him.
I know, but if that's a woman in a dress as far as I can see.
That's a woman in a dress as far as
yeah, from here.
Okay, Michael has no idea. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one. Socks and sandals. What do we think? Michael?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Tina?
I think it's cool.
You think it's cool? It's cute.
Yes, yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker pulled it off. All right, what do we
Actually,
think?
they do it in Japan. It looks cool. They have the socks with the little slit. So in Japan, it looks cool. Here, if you do it, I'm not going to hire you.
I'm not gonna. All right, last one. The fanny pack.
Fanny pack? No, never, ever.
Never,
ever.
No.
I love it. I like the fanny pack.
No, okay. Well, there are some stylish ones that they've come out with, so you
Are
never
there really?
know. There are. There you go. See, Chanel has one.
Oh, okay.
So maybe. Miss Kardashian thinks she can do it. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for being on our panel this morning and for weighing in on all of our topics. Really appreciate having you guys here, and we'll be right back in just a bit.